Hello everyone, we've got a brand new weekly challenge, kaboom. Let's get straight into it. So in the first mission, I've done a couple of rounds of this, but first mission here is Dark Corner, kill all walkers. I don't have the Croat unlocked. The Croat is the star hero, you're going to get more stars if you use him. But I don't have him. I took a long break from this game, only just sort of came back to it. So I don't have everybody. He sounds very effective. And I would be really, really keen to know what everybody thinks of him as a hero and as a squad member. Again, sounds great. Sounds like he really fills in a gap. Sounds like he's got quite a complicated special rule for himself. Um, but I can imagine it being very effective in the game. But let me know. Let me know. I'm going to work to unlock him, and then hopefully I can give my opinion on him. But what I'm doing here is, well, if I haven't got the star hero, if I can't earn those extra stars, let's just have the most effective team that you can possibly have. And I've gone for Connie as the leader, and then I've gone for Yumiko and Shane just to add to that silly, explosive theme for these missions. Now, the weekly challenge is called Kaboom. There's a reason for that. There's going to be explosive walkers on every single mission. That's a good thing and a bad thing. If they're crowded around other walkers, then you can blow them up and cause significant damage. Of course, if they get close and you hit them with a ranged attack, and it has to be a ranged attack, then they will explode, causing you harm. So that's the first thing you've got to decide. Do you want to use ranged characters or melee characters? Melee characters probably a little bit safer. But if you feel particularly skilled with ranged characters, then yeah, use them to your advantage. It does mean that you can deal with those explosive walkers at a distance. One hit from anything ranged will blow them up as well. Whereas if you attack them with melee characters, they take damage normally. So that one there that we just did, I think that benefits from having ranged characters. Just keep those enemies at a distance. There's nothing that really starts too near you. Just take them out with your biggest, heaviest ranged weapons. I don't think that's a challenging mission at all. Get the loot and get out. So this is one of those ones where it could be handy to have Glenn somewhere in the team. Let's just see how this plays out. Again, I've got Shane and Yumiko. Even Connie's got an assault rifle, just because we got a chance to make some noise. So let's just do it. Obviously, new weekly challenges come out on Wednesdays. I was a little bit busy yesterday. I was really busy, so didn't really have the chance to do this. But let's just do it now. So we've got a door open over there to the east of the map, to the right. And then we've got another door there on the top, and we are actually in control of those doors. That is something that really gives you some control over this stage. If we activate this, boom, we can get out there and lock the other door. So you might want to see where all of the walkers are and plan your path. If they're all approaching from that right, if they're all threatening to get through that door, just lock it off. Make them go round. Don't forget that you've got that control. We've got a threat counter. So like I was saying, I was just maximizing the amount of noise that we're making. I'm probably not going to do that when we get towards the end of this challenge. It's always worth bearing in mind whether you want silent weapons or weapons that reduce threat, just to make things easier for you. As you go up through the difficulties, the walkers get tougher, you get more special walkers, and the threat counter ticks over more quickly and brings in more enemies as well. So keeping quiet can usually be a good idea. With a star hero like the Croat, who is a melee hero anyway, that takes the sting out of using the melee characters. So for that one, take your time. I think Glenn could be a good addition. Obviously, he could search a crate and still have half action left. I'm always a big fan of giving him weapons with Swift Strike so that you can kill, search, or otherwise interact with something and still have an action left after each of those. So, alternatively, have ranged characters shoot the walkers through the fence, have silenced ranged weapons. Get the loot and get out. Again, another one where Glenn might be useful. Let's see what we've got to do here. A comically big handgun that Yumiko's got. Okay, yes. So this one's a little bit tricky because we don't have a threat counter. That's kind of okay. But what we will have is walkers appearing turn after turn. They will pour out of that van. They'll pour out of that vehicle at the top left of the map as well. Of course, we've got some explodey walkers. I don't think explodey walkers spawn on this map, so I think that once you've got rid of the ones that start on the map, that's it. Let's see if that's the case. Lots of dark corners. We've got 5 crates to search as well. This is the best view of the map, getting up here on the top near where you escape. As it gets tougher, it's a tricky one to deal with because you kind of want to advance slowly and surely, but you have a lot of walkers just pouring in behind you. Characters like Tyrese who can slow walkers down, that's good. Weapons that cripple as well. Very handy. Powerful charge attacks might help you clear a path. You've got to watch those corners on that one though. Chances that you can get jumped by walkers, sure, they move slowly, but you can still get surprised by them. Secure the area. Okay. I think I know what I'm going to do. I'll probably secure the area with... That sounds like there's going to be a gate for us to interact with, a door that we've got to lock. Probably going to take a couple of turns. What I can do is have Shane do that. Camp Yumiko nearby. And if Shane can see and is in range of whatever Yumiko is shooting at, he will shoot at it too. So we don't have a threat counter. That means that walkers are just going to flood in just as a matter of course for this mission. I would imagine that as soon as we start interacting with that door, walkers are going to appear. Yeah, they appeared back there. That's not too bad for us. So 3 turns, that's not actually too long to be mucking around with that gate. This is the problem, is that we've got walkers appearing within striking range of whoever is working on that gate. And then we've got some exploding walkers there as well. So the exploding walkers I think you can definitely use to your advantage because you can shoot them, make them blow up. Just make sure that you stay out of range of any walkers as they close in. They're closing in from all directions. Of course, that will stop as we lock this door. But don't necessarily start locking that door at the first available opportunity. Check that everything's safe. Check that you're sure you're going to be able to hold off whatever walkers come at you. And again, you can have Yumiko, if the character closing the gate is a ranged character, Yumiko, of course, can make it so that they're not completely useless. They'll still be able to shoot and defend themselves. If you use Connie you can still cuddle up to her and get the benefits of her leadership trait so that she gives you charge points. That's something else that you can do as well. Have her do it. Glenn is no good because, of course, this is it takes multiple turns to close that, so it's not like it's one interaction and then done. He's not really going to help with that. Get the loot and get out. The explosions caused by those bomb-wielding walkers is extremely powerful. Doesn't really matter what level you are, they're going to hurt. They just are. So just going to go up here, just going to see if we can clear this first. We've got a threat counter, so that's worth bearing in mind. Got a door that we're going to have to open over there. I believe that some walkers will appear sort of up there. Or not? Okay, there we go, there we go. Charge attack there, standard attack here. Again, if you're attacking with a ranged weapon, doesn't matter how hard you hit those explosive walkers, they will blow up. And then we're going to have to fight a bit of a rearguard action here. This is definitely one where, again, Glenn could be useful. You can interact with those things, still have your action left as well. And of course, because there's a threat counter and he's a melee character, he would be silent too, so be a good pick for that one. This is definitely a pretty exciting set of maps. I kind of like that there's just that unifying theme. You know what to expect on every single one. You know there's going to be at least an exploding walker or two. Again, I'm not getting those extra stars because I'm not using the star hero. I will be working on unlocking him. At the moment, though, I'm focusing on trying to collect and upgrade apocalyptic weapons because, my gosh, they really are game changers. Okay, threat counter. Obviously, we're not helping ourselves by having characters like Shane, of all people, with a great big RPG blowing the hell out of stuff. But it is fun. Open that, one turn. Okay, and there you go. That's where the exploding walker comes from. If you don't deal with him very quickly, he gets close enough to harm whoever's opened the door. Pretty obvious, but that red circle indicates the radius of the explosion. If I was to move Connie in there, she would get cooked. So we're not going to do that. Okay. And we're out of there. Have we done the full cycle of missions? I think we might have done. Obviously, we've got seasonal event on, so you want to get at least 610 stars from the weekly challenge. That's the maximum amount of seasonal event tokens that you can get from the weekly challenge. It's a very, very good way of getting some absolute top tier gear without having to spend any real world money. So yeah, anytime that those particular challenges are available, yeah, just dive in. Just do the best you can. Get everything from it. Getting something like 200 apocalyptic tokens at the end of the run, as we would this time, I think. Was that from the survival? Well, any chance that you have to get apocalyptic tokens, you always want to take it. And then here we are, Dark Corner. We're back at the start. So that's what we've got. I shall endeavour to complete the weekly challenge again and upload that when we get to the end. Bit of a shame that I don't have the Croat so we can go through some specific Croat tactics. But if you do, if he's a character that you really rate or don't, then let me know. Help the community know how to use him to his best effect. And I guess we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you on the next video.